Now, when I say form's not important, I don't care about form. I do care about form if you're doing like a deadlift or a squat or a bench press or something that could seriously snap you up and get you hurt. But it's like, generally speaking, like a wide grip pull down, close grip pull down, it's kind of really hard to mess that up. I mean, if you look like a fish flopping, doing pull downs, like wide grip pull downs, yeah, if you look like you're doing a kipping pull up with a pull down system, then yeah, your form probably needs to be adjusted some. But generally speaking, I think the concept of working out is pretty basic, you know, like barbell curl versus dumbbell curl versus hammer curl versus preacher curl, whatever. I don't think there's a whole lot of like technique and emphasis that needs to be really like trained to get someone to learn something like that. Doing a barbell row, maybe a T-bar row or something like that, then yeah, a little bit more technique. Romanian deadlift, stiff-legged deadlift, squats, stuff like that. But like a leg press, a hack squat, leg extensions, that's not like a whole lot of technique that needs to be drilled into someone to figure out those movements. So ultimately, like, I think form is important, so is technique, but I think training hard is important too. And I don't mean training hard because you did a lot of reps or sets, or training hard because you did a lot of weight. I think training hard for what your body requires or whatever your goal is. Me, I don't care how much weight's on the bar, and I don't care how many reps and sets I'm doing. I just care about training my body as hard as I could train it for that given movement or whatever the goal is or the outcome for that day. So right now I'm training for hypertrophy. So I want to do some sets for some reps with some weight. That's difficult to do. Does it matter if you do 7 reps or 8 reps? No, I don't think it's that important. 10 reps versus 11 reps, that's the difference between like, no, I don't think it is. I think if you have like 8 really hard reps or 15 really hard reps or 17 really hard reps or like 6 to 9 really hard reps, I think that's all that matters. I think it just matters that you're pushing and you're pushing really hard and you're using techniques of training that causes you to really actually push past the point of what you thought you were capable of doing. It's like, oh, full range of motion is important. Yeah, it is. Just like partials are important too. Full range of motion and partials, it's all important. Every bit as important as the next. That's gonna be a fat set. Like I said, it's not a lot of weight, but I couldn't have pushed myself. I could have bounced it and used some ugly form to got a couple more reps, and it would have been probably beneficial, but this is my first week back and I'm not ready to start pushing like that yet. When I get deeper into the program, I'll start doing a little bit of popping and jerking and a little body English. But right now, I'm gonna try to keep the form a lot more strict with a deep stretch, with a pause and a hold, deep stretch, a pause and a hold, and try to keep it to as perfect as I can. And then once I start getting deeper into the program, then I'll start using a little bit more body English. It is really warm in here tonight too. I'm not planning on doing cardio on this program, but I might end up adding it in, just depends on how I feel. The whole goal of this is just to see what my body does with carb cycling. If I gain weight, if I lose weight, or if I stay the same. I just kind of want to see where my body goes in what direction with this. So if I feel like there's a high potential to lose more weight by doing cardio, I will. If I feel like it's not needed, I won't do it. But the one thing I am going to keep up with is my yoga. I'm going to keep doing yoga because of it really helped my lower back and my hips out tremendously by doing it. So I'm not going to stop doing that. I'm going to make sure I carve some time out to make sure I'm consistent with the cardio, or not cardio, the yoga. This movement here, nice, slow and controlled. Squeeze and stretch on this. Nothing crazy or fancy, no rest, pause, no drop sets, nothing of the sort, just a straight set of controlled pull downs behind the neck. Not a crazy amount of reps either, just a nice, good, hard pull with a deep stretch is all I'm looking for this, because whenever I do this, I feel this directly in the middle of my shoulder blades. So like from the base of my neck to the bottom of my shoulder blades, all that in there, that's where I feel this. I feel it there on this better than I do. But it doesn't matter if I do close grip pull downs, wide grip pull downs, T-bar rows, barbell rows, dumbbell rows, machine rows. It doesn't matter what exercise I do. This is the one that I feel it right between my shoulder blades better than any other movement. So I'm gonna start doing these for the next 90 days, twice a week. And I'm gonna do it just how y'all saw. Slow, controlled form with a good stretch. Anything between 6 to 15 reps on my top set, and that's it. I'm gonna see what this does to help develop that middle back where I'm lagging at dramatically. Hopefully it brings it up. Hopefully. All right, we're on to chest now. That's it for back. Yeah, you figure taking a couple days off of the gym, well actually like 2 weeks off the gym, you feel more rested and recovered and ready to go, but my joints just feel dry and unlubricated, like they're just not oiled up. But as the weeks go on, you'll feel better and better. Like I said, I'm going to ease my way into this program and then start accelerating the gas as I get deeper into it as the weeks go on. Just taking it easy right now at the moment. Just warming up into it. There's no rush. I'm excited to see where I get in the next 90 days, because the last 75 days, that was a huge improvement. I made a massive noticeable difference in my physique in 75 days, so I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the next 90. Again, I'm not counting, because I'm not really concerned about how many I get, but this is going to be a rest pause, so I'm going to breathe for 8 breaths and then go again. If you want to get more out of your rest, take longer breaths or take more. It's just a gauge to not have to look at your watch or your phone. But 15 slow controlled breaths is about 45 seconds. So just depends on how long you want to break. Just time your breathing and you'll figure out how much rest you want to take. Whether it's 15 seconds, or 20 seconds, or 30 or 40 or whatever. Okay, I got one more. I'm gonna go another 8 breaths. Well, that's going to be it for that. Ooh. Tell you what, getting all those carbs and all that sodium these last 2 weeks have definitely filled me out. My arms and my shoulders, my lats too. Like I feel a lot more filled and plump and thick and just rounded. I don't feel so like string bean no more. But unfortunately, the way the carb cycling works is I'm going to have low days, and so I'm going to deplete. But hopefully, 2 days of low, on that 3rd day when I get my carbs back up, I feel back out. So I'll be able to watch my body go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. It'll be interesting to see how I'm affected by it. As far as it goes for working out and dieting, man, I've said it a bunch of times. I just believe that simplicity is king when it comes to being able to stick to stuff and being consistent. Like I have a simple diet. Yeah, some things change on it and the carbohydrates change and stuff like that, but it's basically the same diet every day. It's just the carbs go up or down, then I might take some carbs out and replace it with something with fat. So it's one of those things, like same for the routine, like simplicity is king. So it's like, I'm gonna do the same routine twice a week for my chest and back, arms and shoulders. And I'm just gonna try to push myself as hard as I can on those days, regardless if it's the same. Now, progressive overload is important depending on the program and what you're going for. I think you'll see the most results you could possibly see the fastest doing progressive overload, depending on what your goals are. But for me, being a washed up meathead power lifter, I just don't believe that progressive overload is the ticket for me. I did it for years. I got really strong, but then it just seems like when I start going too heavy on certain movements, I just start getting hurt. Like I start getting joint pain or things start popping and tearing. So I'd rather keep the weight lighter and do stuff like this. Slow the weight down, control it a little bit, pause at the bottom, get a deep stretch, contract at the top, use lighter weight, use techniques like drop sets and rest pause and stuff like this to make a lighter weight feel heavier. So that way I don't have to worry about going so heavy, because eventually you're gonna hit a wall when it comes to progressive overload. I'm sorry, like I don't care who you are. Like take side laterals for instance. You're not gonna sit there and continuously, at least I'm not. I mean, I'm sure there's someone out there that is the exception to the rule, but me personally, I'm not gonna be able to go from a 5-pound side lateral up to a 100-pound side lateral over a year, let alone 2 or 3. I start getting to 25 pounds on the side laterals, and then my shoulders start to hurt. It starts hurting my shoulder joints. So I would rather go with a technique that's gonna make a lighter weight feel heavier, keeping my joint safe. Now, don't get me wrong, if I warm up enough and I take my time, I can side lateral the 30s for sets of 15 to 20 if I work at it and build up to it over the course of a couple weeks or months. I used to do side laterals with 50s for sets of like 15 to 20. But now, it seems whenever I start getting up to 25, 30 pounds on the sides, my shoulders just start hurting me more. So it's just not really beneficial. So simplicity, I'm not gonna worry about how much weight I'm doing and how many reps. I'm just gonna make sure my chest, my arms, whatever I'm working out is burning, it's on fire. It's past burning, it's going numb because I'm training it so hard. Like I wanna go past the burn, I wanna go into the numb. I wanna feel the stretch, I wanna feel the squeeze, I wanna feel the contraction, I wanna feel the pump. But I also wanna feel the fiery burn that leads to numbness afterwards because the pump is just so intense and there's no further I can go because how numb I am. That's what I'm looking for. And I don't need to lift 500 pounds to do that. I don't need to squat 600 pounds to do that. I don't need to do these massive heaving loads of weight. Is it fun doing that stuff? Yeah. Oh, I love doing that stuff. But for the sake of longevity and doing this for the long run, because I'm 37 and I'm not planning on stopping ever. It's not, and I'm gonna do this till I'm 40 or 45 or 50. No, I'm gonna go for as long as I can. The only thing that's gonna keep me out of the gym is injury or sickness. So if I can prevent from getting injured by doing stuff like this, then I have time on my side. Doesn't mean I'm gonna take my time and oh, you know, I'll get there when I get there. I'm in a rush to get to where I wanna be, but not in a rush where I'm gonna get hurt, if that makes sense. I wonder how long it's gonna take for me to need caffeine, because I normally drink coffee before my workouts, but like I said earlier, I'm just not wanting to do that at this moment. I wanna see how far I can push it without it. I'm kind of curious to see how far I can take it without it, because I don't know why you get some type of satisfaction out of being able to move and work out and have energy without any type of stimulus. I mean, don't get me wrong, having stimulants is cool and I like the way they feel when I take them. I like the excess amount of energy I get from them, but I just, I don't know, I get a little like chip on my shoulder about it, you know, like, oh, I worked out without it and I didn't need it. But come Wednesday when I work out my quads, Thursday I'm probably going to be feeling like, I need some caffeine. So I might make it to Wednesday, possibly Thursday. And also, I just really like the way it tastes. I just love the way just straight black coffee tastes. Nothing in it, just plain black coffee. Just the darker, the better. The burnt, the more enjoyable it is. Like I love camp coffee in a percolator, making coffee in a percolator, where the coffee grounds get in the coffee, and they actually like make it super strong and bitter. I just really enjoy that a lot. Nothing crazy on this one, just some straight reps. And I'm not even gonna go until failure. I'm gonna call it at that. I could have kept going more, but this is my first night, and I also gotta work my chest and back out again on Thursday. So I don't wanna be so fried today that I'm like hurting on Thursday, like, how am I supposed to do this? Because the routine is basically gonna be the same. What I'm doing tonight is what I'm gonna do next Thursday. It's just the weights might change, the reps will definitely change because I don't count. I don't track my weight too, so. Okay, so that's it for day one. We got this in the bag. This is a high day on carbs, so I got about 400 carbs today. Tomorrow I'll be getting around 130 carbs, so it's gonna drop dramatically by like 3/4. And we'll see where my energy levels are tomorrow, having low carbs without caffeine. We'll see if I'll be able to continue to push through with that. And then I might start putting my meals back in the videos. I don't know. Because it seems like some people like seeing the daily vlog where I'm like recording and showing my food, breakfast, and showing my meals throughout the day. And some people just don't seem like they care that much about it. But it's hard to know what people want. Because some people want this, some people want that, and some people don't even want none of it, but they click on the video, then just like click on, 10 seconds, click off. Like, oh, well, sorry I didn't meet your standards in those 10 seconds, but that's going to be it for today. That's going to be it for today, guys. We'll see y'all tomorrow.